Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously today I'm doing something a little bit different. I think it's appropriate to do a comparison of the 2005 and the 2017 Chrysler 300 that I just did reviews on. This isn't something I'm normally going to be doing, but because I did two reviews, one after another, of one generation right after another, I think it's appropriate to do. Obviously everything I'm saying is my own opinion, so please, if you have a different opinion, you can let me know down below in the comments. I have a list of the comparisons that I want to talk about, so let's get started. Alright guys, so one big difference is the 2005 Chrysler 300 was made by Mercedes. Mercedes owned Chrysler back in 2005, and you can tell that they owned it based on a lot of the features that are similar in the Chrysler and the Mercedes vehicles. Especially the fact that the Chrysler 300 in 2005 was way ahead of its time for luxury, whereas now in 2017, the Chrysler 300 is owned by Fiat, and Fiat is about average when it comes to luxury, and I think it shows in the way that the vehicle is made. It's about where every other car is for a 2017 vehicle. Another big difference is the sleeker body style of the 2017. The 2005 was just wider, it was a little bit taller, it was a little bit longer, and it was a lot boxier. So the 2017 is a little bit sleeker, more sporty, and I think that's a really nice thing. And the steering wheel, as crazy as you're gonna think that sounds, the steering wheel makes a huge difference in the way that the car drove. The 2005 obviously had the much bigger steering wheel and had the wood grain at the top. The wood grain, I like the look of it, I don't necessarily like the feel of it. The 2017 had a much smaller steering wheel, it had a much better feel for a steering wheel, and it was a lot easier to handle, and the 2005 steering wheel was a lot more in your face because it was so large, where the 2017 isn't. Now for similarities, even though it's the difference between a 2005 and a 2017 vehicle, the steering feel and the suspension feel didn't feel all that much different to me personally. I think it felt very similar. The 2005 felt like it had older suspension, but it didn't feel like it was worse. It just felt like it wasn't as well maintained because it's not as new. Another thing that's very similar is the basic body style is very similar. It's just been cleaned up more for the 2017 vehicle. So some of the things that I liked about the 2005 over the 2017 is that the 2005 still had a shifter knob. The 2017 has that spinning dial, and yes, there are the safety precautions of it does move forward and back a little bit. I still don't think that it's enough to really notice because I couldn't tell until somebody told me that the car did that. The reason why I think that's a huge problem is because you could be sitting at a red light and someone in your passenger seat could put it in reverse and you could straight back into someone and didn't even know you were in reverse. I think that there should be more on the dashboard that says that you're in reverse or drive or what gear you're in if you're using the paddle shifters or if you're in sport mode. I don't think that it's well thought through. Another thing that I liked about the 2005 is how much more advanced it was. Obviously, like I said, it was made by Mercedes, so the luxury features were crazy advanced. A lot of the cars now, let alone my truck, which is 5 years older than the Chrysler 300, doesn't even have half those features that the 2005 Chrysler 300 had. And then something we didn't really talk about was the build quality. The build quality from a Mercedes was incredible. Chrysler still made really good products, they were extremely reliable, they didn't break down anywhere near as often, especially the transmissions. The transmissions are bulletproof in the early 2000s to mid 2000s. Some of the things I liked about the 2017 Chrysler 300 over the 2005 was the Beats audio. The Beats audio was superb, it cut really clean, and it had a really good bass. Obviously, the 2005 could sound really good if you spent money on a sub. The sound quality out of the regular speakers was pretty mediocre, if not average, somewhere between that range, and it had almost no bass. You could fix it by spending a couple $100s, but the fact that the 2017 just came with subs and a really clean sounding system, I think that's really nice. Another thing is the paddle shifters. As much as I love driving manuals, as much as I want to daily drive a manual, my truck just isn't a manual. The really good thing about the Chrysler 300 though, that 2017, the paddle shifters were really conveniently placed. If I am driving an automatic and it has a way of shifting, I want it to be right where my hands are. I don't want to have to move my hand out of the way to shift. And the paddle shifters were right where I wanted my hand. They weren't heavy, they weren't clunky, they were just right where I set my hand, and it was really convenient to use. And another thing, I didn't really touch up on them. I did a little bit at the very end of the 2017 review, but I only talked about the S decal, which I just think really looked nice. But the seats in the 2017 really, when you sat down, you felt like you were in the car. It hugged you a little bit on the sides, and it was really comfortable without stopping you from moving around. So I think that was a really nice feature of the car. So, if you like this video, guys, please leave a like, comment, share the video, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.